What's happening, guys? It's B-RAD and welcome to a Twitter episode of the FUT Eliminator series. Now, just 1 2 testing 1 2. Yep, so unfortunately in this one I didn't test my microphone beforehand and you're gonna get audio commentary from me throughout the episode. I'm afraid I was editing a video before I started recording this one. I forgot to turn the microphone up so I could listen out the speakers, and yeah, I've lost the audio. So unfortunately it will be commentary over this, but hopefully it won't detract away from what is a very good video. Please make sure you are following me on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, and also please drop a note in the comments. The Euros is coming up. Please let me know who you think is going to win the Euros. Obviously we want England to bring it home, but it's not necessarily guaranteed. So if you don't think England are going to win, or even if you do, who else would you think has got a chance at winning the tournament as well? But let's get into today's video on the Flashback Carlos Tevez. Okay, so as you see on here, we are looking at the Carlos Tevez card with his 94 pace, 95 dribbling, 96 shooting and 93 physical. He's 5'7", which means hopefully he does fit the meta of the game. You know, he's got his high-low work rates, but generally as long as they haven't changed his body type to make it so that he's a bit stocky, he should be good in game. He does have 98 finishing, 97 shot power, he has 99 strength, 96 aggression. Yeah, he looks like he could potentially be a very good card with 93 agility and 96 balance. Today what we did for this episode is we went and got our second marquee player from the major 90 plus tots. So we're going to go and open that now, and you will see obviously in the background of this who we managed to pick up from this pack. And as the pack opens, we're obviously hoping to see hopefully a good nation. Now initially I've got a really horrible feeling when this comes out that I have got a duplicate Donnarumma coming my way, but fortunately we actually get Insigne, who's actually not a bad card at all. So he is our second marquee player for today's episode, so we'll go and put him in the squad and then we will get ourselves a formation from the pot. Okay, formation times then. We have got Carlos Tevez and Insigne in on the squad. Now unfortunately recently I hadn't had much too luck with getting formations for this series. Had a few 3 backs and 5 backs and things, so I'm picking this out of the pot, and actually you will see, hopefully if I can show this in the bottom corner, that we actually get the 4-4-1-1 second variation, so not too bad for the squad build. The only problem obviously is that Carlos Tevez does then link to Insigne, which means he needs to get a strong link from somewhere. But you know, that's a problem that we'll face when we get into the squad building and we go and set up our 5-minute timer to get the squad built. So here we go into the squad building portion. First of all, I'm looking at the cams to try and see if there are any of these new Libertadores team of the group stage cards that will strong link to Tevez, but unfortunately they're both Ecuadorian, so that doesn't help me, and the only Argentinians are left mid strikers, which obviously if I had the centre forward version I could have used. So unfortunately we do have to just go and get this one sorted straight away with an icon, and the one I've got in my club is obviously Maradona. We then go and have a look at Argentinians on the right hand side to see who we can get to link up to Maradona. For a little while I think I toyed with the idea of putting Messi in, but actually I end up going with Di Maria. And I select his Rule Breakers card. It's nice and affordable at the moment. He's just got that little bit more pace about him. And we go and strong link that off at right back so that we've got that whole side sorted and separated off with his PSG teammate Florenzi's One to Watch card, which I have as a loan in the club as well. So then we know that basically we can just sort of try and link these centre mids to the goalie and then work Italian League on the left hand side, and that fits all the criteria we need. So we go and have a look at what we've got in Argentinians at the right centre mid, and actually I have a red pick Banega in the squad. Now we know that there has been a Saudi Tots. It's one of my only red picks. I don't really play FUT Champs. I find it extremely stressful. So we end up going and putting the Saudi League centre back in of Iago, and we also then go and put in his strong linking goalkeeper Marcelo Groja. Now with him obviously going in, it does just basically mean that Iago does need one more Brazilian link across. That makes it a little bit difficult, knowing that we only really need to go Serie A on this left hand side. There's not a lot of Brazilian cards in the Serie A, and we do go and have a look at this to see what we can possibly put in there. But everybody else on that right hand side is all sorted for chemistry. So we go to the left centre back, have a look and see what it is we can get to link in there in the Serie A that is Brazilian. And unfortunately, as you'll see, we do find only Luis Felipe. He's a little bit low rated. At the start of the game he was used quite a lot because he had 75 pace, which at the start was quite a lot for a centre back, but he's the best one there really. So we put him in. It's a little bit stinky, but he does what we need to do. But it does then mean that we can go for any left back from the Serie A as long as we strong link off at centre mid. So we go and have a little look to see what ones we can get. I toyed with the idea of putting in something like a DePaul and then strong linking off at left back, but it was much easier to go and get the strong link to Insigne at left centre mid. So we go and actually find ourselves the Bernardeschi. I just do a little quick price check on Footbin for this, and I think he was down to around about 29,500 coins, which, you know, given he's a FUT birthday, he's not actually a bad price at all. So we go and pop him in the squad. And then at left back, like I say, we just need any Serie A. Now I am a little bit low on coins at the moment after the last pack opening. I think I opened around about 600,000 coins worth of rare player packs during the Ultimate Tots to see what we could get. And we end up going for Diogo Dalot because he's only around about 32,000 coins. So that is the team as it is that was completed. I then had about a minute to spare. So I thought, well, what could be the other option if I wasn't going to use Banega? And I had toyed with the idea of going into the Super League when I noticed that the centre-back, Marcao, is Brazilian from the Turkish League. Looked like a really good card. I packed him earlier in the year. So I thought, what could I possibly have done? And I actually had a look and I thought I could have really have gone Marcao at right centre-back and Muslera as a strong link. But then I would have had to have found another link to Di Maria from the Turkish League at that right centre mid, and we do see Biglia there, so that was a possibility. But by the time I started looking through this, unfortunately time started to escape me a little bit, so I couldn't go and do it straight away. So the time does end there, and essentially what I do is I go and put a screenshot of this up onto Twitter so that they can decide obviously what positions in the 4-4-1-1 second variation they're going to pick. And I do have to obviously safety net my 3 players. Now I chose obviously my marquee player and my second marquee player are safety netted automatically. And then I always try and go for someone in the defence if I've got an attacker and midfielder. So I decide to safety net Iago as well. I then have to go and jumble the team up and then obviously find out what picks have been made for me by Twitter to see if any of my players are going to be turning into bronzes. So I then start having to jumble the team up, and generally I like to move everybody at least one position so that there's no kind of thoughts that I've left someone in the same position. So for instance that they think Cam is, I'm just not going to move Maradona. I will always make sure that I move all the players one position. So I'm just jumbling them all up while we're waiting for a reply from Twitter, and you'll see when we are completed that I do then go to Twitter to find out what damage has been done, as we just move Biglia and Maradona as one of our last moves. I then go out to Twitter and find the notification. This time it was from Shane Watson, who is a YouTuber. I will pop a note down in his description. Hopefully we're going to have him on the series, along as have him on Mers and Luke's series as well in the future. But he does choose some positions that I will pop up on the screen now, and that does include, I think it's left back, striker and right centre back that he chooses, which means that my rule breaker Di Maria is unfortunately gone from the team. In terms of everything else though, 1 pick out of 3 isn't bad. I did send a tweet out saying you can come again, Shane, for only picking one of my players. I actually have gotten away with that. It just means I need to ignore that right hand side a little bit when it comes to the game. This is then the completed team. I had to put Paredes in on the right hand side to make sure that I gave everybody around him chemistry. There was nobody else bronze that would actually fit that criteria. So what I did was I put Paredes in there to give everybody else chemistry, and then in game I'm going to sub off Paredes and put in this guy Popa, who is my lowest right winger in my club, and he doesn't look very good. We will pop him up on the screen now so you'll get to see what he looks like. 60 pace, 55 dribbling, 49 shooting, 35 defence, 59 passing and 48 physical. His stamina looks really low as well. So we then obviously go and get into a game, and I struggle to ever get one on max chemistry, so we go enough to play in friendlies, which is why I then do the sub, and you will see the team that we end up coming up against. So here we go, we have finally found ourselves a game, and we come up against Prime Icon Moments, Nedved, Kaka and Zambrotta, right back at left centre back obviously. We then got Usman Dembele and Coutinho's flashback cards with Team of the Season Kimmich, Team of the Season Fellaini, Red Pick Alphonso Davies and Red Pick João Cancelo with Team of the Season Ruben Diaz. Now this isn't just the only thing. When I go and make this sub that I'm now making to bring on Paredes, he brings on a Red Pick Ronaldo. So it was not bad enough that that team I'm playing against already looks pretty disgusting. He actually brings on Red Pick Ronaldo, and yeah, to say that this is a tough game is actually a massive understatement. So I am massively under the cosh in the first instance of the game, but we do manage to break away in the 22nd minute from the goalkeeper. Insigne makes a great run as he goes down the left hand side, and we cut it back to Maradona, who manages to get a shot near post and actually puts us 1-0 up. And we have been absolutely dominated. I've been defending for my absolute life at the start of this game to try and stop myself conceding a goal, and we do actually get ourselves 1-0 up. Now unfortunately that doesn't last very long, and after a lot of good build-up play where he keeps sort of passing it back in between his defenders, his midfielders and his forwards, I get to pass the ball out, and unfortunately it comes straight to Fellaini, who then plays the ball through to Nedved on to Kaka's prime icon moment, Kaka's foot, and he does get a goal. So yeah, unfortunately very quickly we go to 1-1, and then we do find ourselves at half time, and you will see on the stats he does have a little bit more possession than we do and a few more chances on target, but really all we've done is just defend. We've had our 2 shots and our 1 goal to try and get ourselves in this game. As we then enter the second half and we start off, he actually breaks away fairly early in the game. He does a lot of stick dribbling and a lot of 1-2s and things like that, and again prime icon moments Kaka just on the edge of the box manages to get himself a goal, and he's 2-1 up right at the start of the second half. But then we create some build-up play in the middle. We play a little 1-2 between Maradona and Tevez. He then feeds in Bernardeschi, who first time taps it away with the side foot in the right hand side of the goal. We somehow manage to get ourselves back at 2-2, which, considering how tough this game has been, we were pretty happy with. But then the unthinkable actually happens, and we then start another attack in the 64th minute. Again, we've got Maradona on the ball. He feeds through Banega, and for a CDM, he absolutely smashes it top bins in the right hand corner of the goal. We somehow find ourselves 3-2 up in the 64th minute in this game, and I can't believe it because I've literally defended the whole time pretty much, other than these counter attacks. It is unfortunately a little bit short-lived though, as he does manage to break away almost immediately after we've kicked off. You'll see he's sort of shouldering us off, blocking us out a little bit, gets the ball into Ronaldo, does a bridge, hits it near post, and unfortunately he's bridged in a friendly, which is just not cool. But also the animation of my goalkeeper has moved him away from the shot, so we've ended up at 3-3 there. He then gets the ball again in the 79th minute, turns with Kaka, who just cannot seem to miss, and finesses one left-footed past my goalkeeper to make it 4-3. We then think the game's pretty much over, and unfortunately my centre-back makes a terrible pass. It then goes out, and yeah, he's decided that it's not enough to just try and shoot or do something fancy. He cuts it back, sweats it across to Ronaldo, who taps it in. His 98 red pick Ronaldo, and then obviously in true form he makes us watch his celebration. So we end up with 5-3, which basically then means I go and have to put up on Twitter that Shane has 2 discards on the team. So we put that tweet out to Shane. We do then get a reply from him. Obviously we've put Popa, the bronze that was played, back in at right mid. We're then going to go and jumble our team up and wait for a reply from Shane. So you see we're jumbling the team up there, and same as pretty much when I'm doing the discards, or the bronze picks rather, I always do try and move everyone at least 1 position. That's a general rule of thumb. Don't think about, you know, in future episodes, always going to move somebody and not go for those positions. Every now and then I will just switch it up. But basically Shane has his 2 picks, and he actually goes with left back and left centre back, which you will see on the tweet there. It's a little bit damaging if I'm honest, because although the left centre back is the bronze, he does actually manage to hit one of my only red picks. Certainly my only red pick that is over 90 rated. So he does take Banega away, which is unfortunate. But what we go and do is we go and put Banega into the 88 plus TOTS SBC. So here we go, we then are ready to submit the SBC. We've put Banega in a bunch of 83s, and then the lowest 87 rated was actually a team of the group stage, Libertadores player. So we get our 80 plus TOTS player pack to open up on this, and obviously I'm hoping for something fairly decent. Obviously it is 88 plus in all of the TOTS leagues, so it could be pretty much anything. Obviously we're just hoping for not a duplicate. And as we open the pack, we're pretty excited when we see the nation. You know, it's got some chances when we open the pack up and we do see what is the French flag pop up. It then goes Cam. It's not Fekir though, it is Nkunku, who actually, when we get in to have a little look at the card, he's actually around about 90,000 coins. So actually we will take that. He might just be fodder in the future when we get into the Festival of FUT promo, but who knows. He might feature in some of the future episodes as well. So that has been an episode of FUT Eliminator with Twitter participation. I am sorry that the audio was gone. I will make sure that I put myself down a checklist in the future to make sure that I definitely don't forget to do that. Big thanks to Shane, who did actually also give me a shout out on his stream today as well. So links to Shane will be down in the description, so you can go over there and follow him as well. He was streaming on YouTube today, but he does also do YouTube videos, and he has got Twitter as well. So I'll pop the links to those down in the description. Like I said, I apologise, it's not the same quality as my normal videos, but we've had to make do because time for me at the moment is pretty short. I don't have a lot of it. So thank you ever so much for tuning in. Please do still smash a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below again, who do you think is going to win the Euros? As always, I've been B-RAD.